Yo, losing $102 trading NVDA. We are going to get into today's trade recap. What is going on, guys? Hope you're doing well. Let's go. I'll have a trade recap out on Roku next, so stay tuned for that one tomorrow. I'll talk more about that trade and all that stuff. These are technically two trades, but they total out to be about $102 across the both of these on NVDA. So let's get into it. What happened? Why did we trade? And let's go from there. The first trade came just before 10 a.m. Eastern time, and I'm going to get into it. So there's going to be a bunch of trade recaps coming over the coming days because we've got kind of a lot of shit going on, and some will probably work, some will probably not. And so I'm kind of like, yeah, you know, maybe I got a little over my head, but also I was taking trades that met my criteria. So I don't give a shit. I'm not getting deep. It's not too deep. Really, you know, but it's always good to kind of audit yourself and say, like, yeah, what are we doing here, dude? Like, do we need to be in a couple positions here at the same time, or, you know, can we get out of this? These things don't look good, and that was kind of the idea with Roku. So I'll cover that one soon. But first trade on NVIDIA, this setup, I'm looking back on it and I'm honestly looking and saying to myself, yeah, I don't know if I saw this right, and this was not the best idea. The level I was watching was right here. We had yesterday's high at around 1149.50. That was also a high in pre-market. This was, I believe, like super early pre-market, so I'm not going to like discount that, but it's something to be paying attention to. And it's funny because it actually panned out to be a pretty big area because we got up to that exact spot pretty much. Overtook it by a bit and then fell off immediately. Couldn't blast through it. And also this high right here, same spot. But what I did was I traded right in here. So I saw NVIDIA and I said, hey, if we can make, because it was making nice strides up. And before this candle closed, I was like, oh, you know, I'm liking this look. I see a move up followed by a pullback, a little consolidation, a break of that I like. It's not bad, but it's not like the perfect look of my setup. It's not like, if I had to say, because it is subjective, you know, I see my setup when I see it. Is it to a T, like what I would like in a perfect, but there's never a perfect, like nothing ever pans out perfectly. But what I would want would be a push up followed by a nice kind of consolidation and keeping it kind of clean, and then a break of that resistance, and then boom, go in. That's what I want. In this case, you kind of had, you know, the push up followed by this little upper wick and little pull. So it wasn't perfect, if you kind of get what I'm saying. But nearing a key level, I thought to myself, okay, if we have momentum here on the break, which we ended up not getting, volume did not pour in, and that was a good sign to get the hell out, which I did shortly after as we fell back below here, which is my stop loss underneath the lows of that little pullback or consolidation low. That was my stop loss. So 1140 stop, and I was targeting 1160 on the trade. So if you do the math, I got in right around here. I was looking for a stop right here. And then my target was up around 1160, which would have been about a 1.75 to 1 risk reward. So not a 2 to 1, but a 1.75. I thought it was pretty good. Just didn't work. Then I was like, okay, well, I'll leave an alert on that level. If we come back to this spot, I'll get in. And it did come back. And we did get the volume, big ass volume candle, and a nice push above. But what ended up happening was we pushed above and then we just petered out. No follow through. No momentum. And then on our live stream on Wednesday afternoon, what I did was I exited for a very small loss. That was the second trade. So that covers the two NVIDIA trades, 1 and 2. You know, was this you know, a good idea? I think it was fair. You got the strongest stock in the market right now. I'm not going to be mad. There's nothing wrong with that trade. They were day trades, and bigger picture, S&P's been trending up, bigger picture, but today what the S&P's been doing is nothing. The first trade, there was not really a way to know. The second trade was like, okay, S&P is still in the range. You know, maybe there was something to be said there. But at the same time, NVIDIA will kind of do its own thing at times, so I'm not going to get too caught up in that. And it is what it is, but that was kind of the trade, and not bad, but you know, you see the importance of good risk management. Didn't work, no big deal. If it did work, we'd make, you know, $150 to $200. So I can't complain. Just didn't work. One last thing I want to touch on, which I'll probably, try to keep hammering home, as I will do in the coming trade recaps. The importance of risk management. Ladies and gentlemen, what do we see here? We were operating at an 80% win rate a couple days ago. That's come back, which is not surprising. Okay, as we now go back on this recent trades. Check it out. I'll pop back up here for a second. Right, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 in a row. And I was like, kind of like, oh, I wasn't feeling myself, because guess what? When I was feeling myself, that's generally a good sign of losing money. But boom, 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 boom. 4 in a row lost. So there you guys have it. Currently, I'm happy that we just hit 1,001 trades. I don't know if I'm happy. All tracked, journal, and logged on TradeZella. And over my past, this is literally my past 1,001 trades. I have tracked every single one on TradeZella. Back when I was trading options to when I moved to the prop firms and shares and all this shit. And back when I was trading options, you had a little more volatility. And then about a year and about 13 months ago, right here towards literally the rock bottom point when I was down 3K, I said, what the fuck are we doing? We are going to stick to one strategy for 1 year. And let me tell you, since then, is the P&L super impressive? Not really, but that's also relative to anyone. Everyone's going to have their own numbers and stuff. I'm trading my own shit. So since then, we have done very solidly up and to the right, which is exactly what I want to see in a trading journey, in a trading log, learning from the mistakes, making the adjustments. It did take me a good 6 or so months of tracking, and it not tracking the same way. I've definitely improved on how I'm tracking, but it did take me a good 6 months of like, what the fuck am I doing? Once we figured it out, now we've got a lot of data. So when I say that, I now have 1,001 trades to go off of. So when I went on an 11-0 run, I was like, oh, the past me would be like, let's fucking go. Let's start sizing up, load the boats, baby, back up the trucks. We're going to start sizing up to play with some real money. But the reality was, I said, this is not the time to size up. This is actually the time to size the same and be very, very cautious about what is coming, because I don't usually win 11 in a row like that. And then boom, 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 4 losses in a row. Now, are they bad? No, because look at the size of these losses. 89, 86, 44, and 15. Go back on that 11 win streak. We had a 150, a 60, 45, 200, 66, 167, 98, 102, 154, 253, 150, 64. The dollar amounts on average are so much bigger. So that's what it's all about at the end of the day. When you boil it down, and if you jump over to the top right, you can also see that the sizing is coming, ladies and gentlemen. It's coming. Look back to where it was, a little over a year ago when I really was dialing into the strategy that I'm currently trading, and then look at as of late. The candles are getting larger, so we're making good progress. I feel pretty good about it. Either way, that's the update. So there'll be a trade recap on Roku coming soon. Risk management, risk reward. Our average win loss is a 2.2. For me, that's really good. For somebody else, maybe it's not. But for me, that's really good shit. So happy with that. And we'll see how the next couple of days go. And see if we make any or have any more winners. So there you guys have it. I'll leave a link to TradeZella below, like always. If you want to track like me, you don't have to, but you could. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.